It was early morning when I soft, almost hesitant, like the touch of a hand that isn't sure if it should linger. The first breeze of August drifted through the open window, carrying with it a faint fragrance I hadn't smelled in years. Wildflowers, I realized, the kind that used to grow on the edge of the old path behind my childhood home. I closed my eyes and let it pass over my face, cool but not cold, alive with a kind of tender energy. The room seemed to breathe with it, the curtains swaying as if in slow conversation with the air outside. Somewhere far away, a bird gave a single clear call, as if acknowledging the arrival of something important. For weeks, the heat had been heavy and stubborn, pressing against every wall and thought. The days felt endless, and the nights gave no relief. But this morning was different. The air shifted. It was not just cooler, it carried promise, like the gentle turning of a page in a book you thought you'd finished reading. I stepped outside, barefoot on the wooden porch. The boards were still warm from yesterday's sun, but the breeze moved around me in calm circles, a patient companion. The sky above had a softness to it, pale blue with thin streaks of cloud, like brushstrokes not yet dry. As I stood there, I realized the breeze wasn't just air in motion. It was a messenger. It carried fragments of memory. The sound of my mother calling me in for dinner, the laughter of friends running barefoot through the grass, the clink of a glass of lemonade on a summer table. Each one arrived unannounced, lingered for a heartbeat, and then dissolved into the next. I thought of how strange it is that the wind can carry so much, and yet leave no visible trace. It doesn't hold on to anything. It doesn't cling or demand. It just moves, and in moving, it heals. I walked down the steps and onto the path that led toward the small garden at the edge of the yard. The flowers were stirring too, nodding their heads gently as if greeting an old friend. The breeze brushed past them, and I imagined it whispering secrets into their petals, things meant for them alone to hear. It occurred to me then that maybe healing often arrives in forms we overlook. We expect it to come as a grand event, a sudden transformation. But sometimes it's a breeze on a tired morning, carrying scents you'd forgotten you loved. Sometimes it's the simple act of standing still enough to feel the air move around you. I stayed outside longer than I meant to, letting the breeze trace invisible patterns on my skin. My breath matched its rhythm, slow, steady, unhurried. The weight I'd been carrying for months didn't disappear, but it felt less sharp, less demanding. When I finally turned to go inside, the breeze followed me to the door, slipping past my shoulder before I could close it. It moved through the rooms like a quiet blessing, settling in corners, stirring the air just enough to remind me it was still there. Later that day, as the sun grew stronger, the air became still again. But I knew it would return. The first breeze of August had come to say that change was near, that the long heat would pass, and that sometimes the smallest touch is enough to remind us we are still alive. And when I closed my eyes that night, I could still feel it. Soft, cool, and endlessly patient, waiting for me in tomorrow's air.